next to you, Starstruck, an Adrienette, Miraculous Ladybug fanfiction, famous AU, apartment neighbors AU, and fake dating AU. Chapter 18. I want to make this the best day of his life. He made my birthday so special. I want to do the same for him too, Marinette explains to Juleka. She nods thoughtfully. Well, what does he like to do? Juleka asks. Marinette sighs. That's the issue. Neither of us really knows what he likes to do, and he is still trying to explore some hobbies and seeing what he likes. I can't really think of any romantic dates or things to do. Honestly, I haven't done this boyfriend's birthday thing in such a long time. Like, junior year of high school long time, she says. Juleka laughs a little, saying, I know, I was there. Yeah, so what do I do? I mean, I'm not able to get him a bunch of gifts or even one expensive one. On that note, I think Chloe's getting him a car, Marinette says idly. Juleka blinks at her and is silent for a couple of seconds. God, you're around such rich people, she says flatly and shocked. Marinette sends her a smile. She feels that way too, shocked by how easily Adrien and Chloe could just buy things. Well, Chloe more than Adrien. A car is an investment for a person like her, or Juleka, or Alia. To Chloe, it's just another birthday gift to give her friend on a whim. Think she'd get me a new car? Juleka jokes, and Marinette huffs a laugh. Call it charity if it makes her feel any better, she continues, and Marinette laughs harder. You can try. Marinette plays along with the full knowledge that Chloe would look at Juleka like a bug, and probably attempt to crush her as such. Sure, and then she'll shout at me. Juleka snorts. Okay though, moving past Chloe in the car that she should certainly get me. Marinette breaks out into laughter again. What is something that Adrien has always wanted to do? You can take him to do that, she offers. Marinette hums. Well, there are a lot of things that he's wanted to do. She thinks about all of the conversations they've had of things that he wanted to do or places he wanted to go to or anything like that. The beach is an option. Somewhere on Instagram, she had seen a date idea about rocks and eye colors, about finding eye colors in rocks or something. Adrien would probably enjoy that. Perhaps a picnic on the beach. Or maybe they could go to an amusement park, somewhere that he had never gone to as a kid. Adrien would love to see the pictures on the roller coasters, and probably would enjoy trying to win a stuffed animal, unlike most other people who felt cheated. Those are good options, but they didn't seem quite right to her. Something else would be better. She just needed to think of it. Suddenly, an idea comes to her. I've got it! Marinette cries out. Juleka motions for her to elaborate. The zoo! He loves animals, and he's never gone. I don't think he even realizes that we could go to the zoo. I can take him, and we can watch all the shows and meet all the animals. I think he'd love it, she says excitedly. Juleka grins along with her. Great idea, Mari, she says. I'm pretty sure he'll like it. And then you guys could do like a dinner and a movie. A fun day. And then a low-key night. Fall asleep on the couch again. She raises her eyebrows teasingly, and Marinette throws a feather at her. Juleka only laughs and plays with it between her fingers. I love that idea. A day at the zoo, and then a nice movie. I'll get the tickets right away, Marinette says, hopping right to the computer. Juleka smiles happily, and Marinette feels very excited. She's been wanting to make Adrien's birthday perfect since he celebrated hers. She only hopes that he's as happy as she was on her day. He's always been an animal lover, and it's more of a reason to tease him about the cat beanie thing. And maybe she'd convince him to wear it to the zoo. That thought makes her giggle. Angelica looks at her with a knowing and mischievous look. Got it, Marinette says, ordering zoo tickets. It is literally 3 weeks away from his birthday, but she's madly excited for the day. Happy birthday! That is the first thing that Marinette says to Adrien on his birthday. He looks a little tired when he opens the door to let her in. It's quite early, honestly. He's still in his pajamas. A white sleep shirt and fuzzy sleep pants. Adrien yawns and rubs his face like a child would. It is so adorable. Marinette needs to look away before she starts sprinkling kisses all over his face. How did you sleep? She says, hiding the zoo tickets behind her back. Luckily, Adrien was too drowsy to really register the movements of her hands, handing said tickets back and forth between them. Pretty good, though it was kind of late by the time I fell asleep, he admits. After we hung up the phone, I found this really cool online book and, well... Adrien sheepishly rubs the back of his neck and Marinette has to laugh. I stayed up pretty late after that, just reading it, Adrien says. I think I did that all the time in college, Marinette giggles. Anyway, since it's your birthday, I have the entire day planned. I hope it'll be fun, she says excitedly. Adrien smiles sweetly at her. No matter what it's gonna be, I'm sure it'll be great as long as we're spending the day together, Adrien proclaims. Marinette blushes and laughs nervously. No, today I get to say those things too, she says with a giggle. We're going to the zoo today, she says happily. And then we'll go to a drive-in movie theater and dinner at night, she tells him. Adrien's face breaks out into a huge grin. The zoo? He nearly jumps into the air. The zoo, he says again. Marinette's proud of herself for picking an activity he's excited for, although she has to admit he'd be ecstatic for any activity. Wow, we get to see all of the animals. That'll be so fun. Do we get to see sharks, penguins, monkeys? Adrien says, rushing up to her and practically shaking her shoulders. Marinette giggles a bit and puts her hands on his to stop his aggressive movements. Adrien's just excited. She gets it. Yeah, there are all of them at the zoo, she tells him with a brilliant smile. Adrien sighs and starts sprinting towards his bedroom. He tells her, I'm gonna get ready, don't you dare leave, and I've never been more ready in my life to go anywhere. Marinette giggles as Adrien nearly forgets to turn the doorknob and struggles to get it open for a second. He's like a fumbling cat. It is too cute, really. He shuts the door so hard it causes a loud slam, and Marinette winces, but laughs. She takes in a breath and runs through everything she has planned for the day. Zoo, water show, pet the animals, and then come back to the drive-thru and dinner movie theater. I sure hope he likes the movie, she mutters to herself. Julika had told her to choose comedy so it'd be more enjoyable. Okay, Adrien cries out excitedly. I'm ready. He slides out of his bedroom and into the main area where Marinette is. In doing so, he nearly slips and falls, making Marinette laugh so hard she can't even breathe. Whoops, he says sheepishly, holding onto a chair arm to stay upright. Marinette hops off the stool she'd found herself on and walks over to him. She smiles and without even thinking about it, places a hand on his cheek. It feels warm, and Adrien smiles and leans into her touch. Ready? And not on the ground, she teases him. He pouts at her, but nods. On their way to the zoo, Marinette reads all of the birthday articles out for Adrien. For the most part, people are writing him very lengthy tweet strands. They're quite nice, for the most part. Some are sweet and genuine, and some are a little bit much, with very strongly worded statements. Oh my god! Marinette laughs, coming across a birthday article from Lila Rossi. She's really sucking up to you. Talented model, actor, and undercover ladies' man Adrienette has officially turned 25 today. Adrien snorts at the sentence. Playboy. Really? That is the adjective that she decided to go with. Sure, you're so much of a playboy. You had to ask me how to act like a couple when we started fake dating. Marinette laughs. Adrien flickers his eyes to her. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I've only dated you, but who knows? Maybe Lila caught on to the other people that I haven't dated. Adrien jokes. Oh, nothing gets past her. You know that. Marinette cackles. God forbid if she ever found out about Kagami. She'd probably work so hard just to spin it into some plausible past secret relationship just for the clicks. She sighs. Adrien chuckles lowly. You can say that again, he mutters. He turns into the zoo and they find a place to park towards the entrance. Marinette grabs hats and sunglasses for them and steps out of the car, swinging her bag over her shoulders. Adrien locks the car and comes up next to her, fitting their hands together with ease. I can't wait, he says so quietly, so as to not draw any attention. Marinette squeezes their hands. Don't get too excited and have a stroke, she teases him. Adrien stifles his laughter. Whoa, they're so big, Adrien says to one of the in awe of the animals. They're standing in front of the lion exhibit. It's lunchtime for the lions, and the zoo workers had lowered sporadic pieces of meat for them. The food is hidden around in small crevices and nooks and crannies in the exhibit, and everyone is watching the lionesses hunt for their food. It's scary, truth be told, but interesting. They are smart creatures, after all. One of the lionesses nudges the leaf away to reveal the food. She roars in approval, gathering more attention from her hunting pack. They're so smart, Adrien says breathlessly. Marinette laughs a bit and nods in agreement. Some animals are just brilliant, really. Look, she's found more food, she says, pointing to one of the younger and smaller-looking lionesses. It's wild to watch the scene. Animals are much smarter than many people give them credit for. They have survived for years and generations and millennia before humans. Of course they can find their way around now. The crowd cheers loudly as the lionesses find the last of the food and feast. That was so cool, Adrien says with a smile. Where to next? He looks around eagerly. Marinette checks her phone where she had taken a picture of the zoo schedule. Well, we can walk around a bit before we get to the water show, she says. Marinette points to a gathering around the giraffe exhibit. Do you want to go there? I think we're allowed to feed them. Adrien lights up and starts heading towards the giraffes, tugging her along with them. She smiles in amusement. I'm going to go with you, yes, you want to go there, she says, trying to keep up with his speed. He's practically dragging her. She can't move that fast. Adrien lets out a boisterous laugh. I want to go feed them. I can tell. Adrien climbs up on the platform and is handed a branch of leaves to give the giraffe. Luckily, with the sunglasses and hat, the attendants didn't really realize it was Adrien. He also didn't seem to care much. He really just handed him a tree branch. Within seconds of noticing the branch, 4 giraffes swarmed to him, lunging with their long necks to take a bite. Marinette laughs as Adrien jumps in surprise. Here, he says happily, thrusting the branch closer to the giraffes. Here, he says happily again. They start eating, and right away, the branch is devoured. Marinette takes her eyes off the giraffe to look at Adrien, who is gaping in clear surprise. What? She giggles, nudging aside. Nothing, Adrien replies. Just, their tongues are purple and really big. That's so cool, he explains. Marinette raises a brow at him. Yes, giraffes have purple tongues, the attendant says boredly. It sounds like they have to explain this fact daily to new customers and are sick of doing so. You know what? That is probably true. Cool, Adrien exclaims. When the tree branches are void of leaves, the giraffes are no longer interested in Adrien and moves on to the new visitors with fresh branches of leaves. Nonetheless, Adrien is overjoyed by the experience. What else do we have to do? He asks her. Marinette shrugs. It isn't time for the water show just yet. We can walk around a bit. Maybe check out the penguins, she offers. Adrien's eyes get wide at the prospect, and she just knows that he's going to start dragging her towards the exhibit. She's right. He does. After nearly an hour spent playing with penguins who would not stop falling, it was adorable, if anyone was wondering. It's finally time to watch the water show, and thanks to being in the area, they snag great seats. Adrien is blown away by all the tricks that the animals can do. The dolphins even swim up to him and offer him a little toy which he clutches to his chest. I think you want a dolphin, he tells her. Marinette looks at him and blinks silently. They are incredibly aggressive if not trained like this, she says, slowly. Adrien pouts at her and sighs sadly. Okay, I guess I'll settle for watching these ones, he says. Marinette sighs, but not in an annoyed fashion. How about I get you, a stuffed dolphin, she offers. He lights up like a firework. I'd love that. After the show, Marinette stops by the gift shop. She gets him the cutest dolphin stuffy that she can find. Adrien nearly sobs in joy, and Marinette's heart could not have been fuller. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life, Adrien says. Marinette laughs and just indulges in his excitement. Okay, I mean, that was hilarious. What about the video of Lila tripping over her couch during a live interview that Marinette brings up, trying to quiet her giggles? Adrien has to slam a hand over his mouth to keep from loudly laughing. Okay, that was hilarious. Marinette is happy to hear that Adrien is enjoying the movie. The characters are honestly, they are awful. They're being crazy in public, shouting at their bosses, showing up to public events well past wasted in dignified manners. But in the movie, all the actions are comedic gold. This is the best day of my life, Adrien breathes, looking away from the movie and to her. Marinette blushes, and thank God it is dark. The movie, the zoo, everything. I'm so happy, he continues. I'm happy to hear that, Marinette says with a wide smile. The characters in the movie crash into a wedding cake, and it elicits a loud collective laugh in the entire audience. Adrien hangs an arm over Marinette's shoulder and laughs into her hair, muffling the sound. Oh my God, that poor bride! Adrien chuckles, watching as the evil bridezilla of the movie tries to tear the characters apart for ruining her wedding. It turns into an all-in-all food war with everyone cursing each other out. People are still roaring with laughter all around them. You know, if weddings are like this, I think I'll pass, Marinette jokes, knowing full well that she dreamed of a big wedding since she was in her 5th year. Adrien chuckles next to her. And miss out on all this fun? He says, motioning to the big screen. Marinette hums and pretends to think long and hard about it. Okay, if it's like this, then maybe I won't pass up on it, she says, subconsciously leaning into his chest. Adrien holds her shoulder even tighter, and suddenly, she gets a flashback to when they fell asleep during their first ever movie night, all cuddled together, warm. Her heart flutters, and she prays that he doesn't notice the pounding. They keep watching the movie, only moving to shake in laughter whenever something crazy happens. That's weirdly romantic, Marinette comments when the newlyweds waddle into the lake, fully dressed in gown and tuxedo. They have to be ruined. Adrien turns his head down towards her and nods. Yep, because at least they're doing it together, he says softly. It's now that Marinette realizes how close Adrien's lips are to her. She starts growing nervous. They hadn't kissed yet because, well, there hasn't been a real reason to. It doesn't stop her from wishing they had, though. Adrien's eyes flicker from her eyes to her lips, and Marinette's breathing gets shorter and shorter. It's like they're caught in a trance, and even the crazy laughter around them can't break it. Throwing all caution to the wind, Marinette presses her lips to Adrien's. He sighs into the kiss, and Marinette feels the fire roar inside of her. They pull apart, and Adrien smiles softly, looking right at her and staying very close. Thanks for the best day of my life, Adrien says in a whisper. She can't say anything. She's frozen in love and nerves. Instead, Marinette nods, and Adrien just holds her tighter to him. Her heart is pounding, but it's fuller than it's ever been before.